Happy Super Bowl Monday. It is Monday right now. It is February 12th. 12th, yeah, right now. I had to check that one for a sec. Also known as post-Taylor Swift Day at this point. There has been some talk about making Super Bowl Monday a federal holiday. It has not happened yet. I would be perfectly fine with that because I was at a party last night and I realized I cannot go to a party an hour away when there's a Super Bowl game that ends at midnight. I am getting way too old for that at this point. But as for a youngin' like yourself, how you doing, Rob?
I'm great. I enjoyed the Super Bowl last night, even though my team didn't win. But it was good. I enjoyed it. I just got back from work, So yeah, it was good.
All right, good. So basically, yeah. The I wouldn't say the Chiefs won yesterday, but I would say that the less worst team lost. I have made it a point, and I've actually gotten a little bit of heat for this, to say that Taylor Swift was, in fact, a distraction for the Chiefs because they always had to sit there in every press conference, at every practice, and constantly be inundated with questions about Taylor Swift, which I think threw them off their game, which is why they had two turnovers in the first half, and Patrick Mahomes threw a pick in the first drive of the second half. 3 turnovers in barely just over 30 minutes.
Are you saying you don't like 49ers at all? Because you said the less of the worst.
They were the lesser of the two evils in this case.
I like the 49ers because of their lineup person and what he said in an interview recently, where he talked about God and stuff and where he gave credit.
I think even Travis Kelce said something last night too, after screaming at Andy Reid. But
that was after the game, after he already won. The other guy said it way like a week or so ago, and I don't know. Everybody knows I'm Christian, and I like that. And I felt, I'm in Arkansas, so by default, I'm supposed to like the Chiefs because Kansas City's only 4.5 hours from me. So if I don't like the Chiefs, I basically need to get out of my state, is what some people tell me, because they're like, how can you not like the Chiefs? I really feel like the Chiefs are overrated, and I look at it this way. The 49ers, we did a heck of a job for losing, 5 or 6 players by the end of it, and we lost our major hitter at the beginning of the game, and that made a difference, But we still did a heck of a job, even though we kept losing players.
Yeah, and if it wasn't for Christian McCaffrey, you would have been killed in that way too. But as far as this team goes, like I said, we'll get to this stuff in a minute. But yeah, officially dynasty time. Kansas City, yeah, okay, fine. But listen, you have it easy because you got the Chiefs close to you. St. Louis will eventually get an XFL team again. The Battlehawks, you got something over that arena. But here in Giant Nation and Jet Nation, we're a laughing stock. We accept it. It sucks.
Yeah.
Yay. But at least there was movie trailers.
Yes.
So what we are doing tonight is we are looking at some of the movie trailers there.
And there's a commercial that I really love too.
We're going to cover some stuff in this case. We're going to talk a little bit of stuff. Davion's running a little bit behind, and Ryan currently is in the process of helping his mom move, which, in fairness, is a lot of work, and I'm not going to blame him for that one. That was hell on it. Is there? But in this case, for now, it's just you. It's just me. Dale will show up when he shows up, and we're going to be looking at some movie trailers at this point. Some of them I think you're kind of interested in. Some of them I'm definitely not in the least bit interested in.
And I have a feeling I know which one you're going to say. You're not interested, but
Well, basically, we're going to start this off. I got this on mute. I'm going to have to play it bit by bit here. But yeah, we're going to be looking at some of the trailers that happened here. We're going to be looking at it on mute so I don't get flagged if I can help it.
Yep.
But first things first.
Together.
Did you say unmuted?
There, now it's unmuted. So here we got. I'm going to bump it up a little bit.
I'm still hearing it.
Yeah, well, actually, you're probably not hearing it now. I would say you're probably not hearing it.
I'm still hearing it.
Really?
Yes, sir.
There we go. How's that? Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. So, for whatever reason, but so it didn't mute on this side, but muted on your side. There we go.
Didn't want it to get flagged.
I appreciate that. So, so here we have Wicked.
Ariana Grande.
Yeah, if we have learned anything from, like, say, Cats, Broadway musicals that turn into live action movies are always going to be bank every time. Cats taught us that one. So,
Yeah, I didn't even know this movie was coming out, and I think it's interesting. And yes, we can see your chat. I think it's very interesting. Yeah.
I fixed it, Kyle. So,
I think it's very interesting that even though we've had a Wicked movie before, because Wicked came out like what, 7 years ago or something.
Maybe the movie did, but I mean, it's been on Broadway for probably.
No, but I'm saying the movie. We've already had a movie adaptation come out before.
Wow, really?
Yeah, if I'm not, I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure we've already had one.
But now we have a woke one.
So now we have another one, which surprised me because I didn't even know this was coming out until the trailer came out.
I didn't know either. So.
It looks good. I am a fan of.
Fire off. So.
Yes, drop it in the comments. We'll answer it the best we can.
As long as it's safe for work. If it's NSFW, I'm not answering it.
Yeah, it's gotta be appropriate. But anyways, so back to this. I don't know if you know, but I was in the play Wizard of Oz, so I've always had a connection to Wizard of Oz because I got to play Nico the Flying Monkey.
I can try. Kyle's probably better at that, though. I'll be fair.
Or I am too.
Yeah, Dave's not so bad. He's not here either, but
yeah. So yeah, I'm excited. I'll give this a watch. I don't know if I'll see it in theaters, but I will give it a watch. Depends on if I'm going with somebody. If I'm going with somebody to see this, I'll go see it.
I'll give it a shot. I'll give both of them a shot, probably. The Riddle first, probably most likely. And Wicked, I mean, here's the thing. I have never seen Wicked. I know enough about it and everything like that.
It's basically Wizard of Oz.
Okay, yeah, that's true. But it's kind of like an anti-hero.
Yeah, it looks like by the trailer, it's the witch is not bad. She's actually a good person.
Okay.
And then she gets bullied, I think, in order to become. You get to see her origin story, if I'm not mistaken. That's, even though she's green, you get to kind of see the way, and that's what makes her into the villain.
So, by the way, for the record, I have a comment down there. I am not going to say that one out loud. I will leave that to certain things that come out to movies that are coming out next month, or certain minority groups that we have who are currently running behind. Please do not say that out loud. I'm going to go to Kyle's comment instead. Yes. It's a Maleficent of Oz, yeah. Yeah, nice. Good try there, but that's an NSFW, and I like not being canceled. I'm funny about this.
Yeah. And Dave would probably be going off on you right now.
Dave probably would, but I'm going to hold on that one. So I may pull it up later, depending on, just once he gets here, I'll see what he happens.
Yeah, I'd be like, Dave, we got something for you.
Yeah. Well, given the fact that there's the Magical Society, the Society of Magical, Peoples.
Yeah.
Day and I were talking about that earlier today, and like I said, that movie's coming out on his birthday. He's going to try and get to. Oh, I cannot wait for that one. So, no, it's more like I've been screwed. I made that mistake like 87 times in my life. You can't fool me. You cannot fool me 88 times. That's the catch.
Right. That's why we don't read things out loud. And that's why I love when Scott's like, Robert, you read things out loud. You better not read that one. We go get canceled.
So, but yeah, we're going to talk about we're going to reach Deadpool. It's actually the one that's coming up after this. Godzilla we'll talk about. New Planet of the Apes movie is in here too.
Yes.
Kung Fu Panda. So, but as far as this one, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, and the new If trailer looked good too.
We're gonna hit that one too. I've got to kind of like I've got it in this video, so I'm gonna like pop to different.
And I already know what movie you hated that there was a trailer of.
I mean, that's kind of a cool look right there.
Yeah.
But
I like they do a back. Like, I love when they do the background of, and they show the actual Oz.
I actually didn't know what the hell that was, but actually looks so cool. Kind of dark though. But here's the thing: there's been some complaints lately about the whole anti-hero, or like the villain actually being sort of an anti-hero thing. We had Cruella, that movie that came out a couple of years ago, where it humanized someone who wanted to kill all the puppies. this is the kind of thing where Wicked is the same kind of thing, and people are like, okay, you know what? If we want, the Wicked Witch of the West to be the Wicked Witch of the West, but I don't know. I mean, I don't think this movie's going to do that well. I really don't.
Wouldn't you call that a instead of when you call those origin stories? What made them the way they are because of the way of their childhood and stuff?
Well, I mean, it is an origin story in this case.
And you think Wicked's going to do bad?
I think so. I think honestly, this is going to be a movie that's not going to do that well.
I think it's going to cash.
Musicals are tough. I don't know. I do not know what the budget is on this movie.
I don't know. I think this would be cash. A lot of musicals do good in theaters.
Well, see, here's the other side of it. This is actually a two-parter. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah. They're coming back.
Wait, they're making this two parts?
Per Wikipedia, Wicked 2024, Wicked is scheduled for release November 27, 2024. The sequel, Wicked Part 2, will be released November 26, 2025. I guess that's Thanksgiving next year. So, yeah, they're going to try and do them back to back.
Now that makes me...
Yeah, see,
does this movie need two parts? I mean, is that how long the musical is it itself?
No,
is it a long musical?
I mean, you can do the musical is probably, I guess, like 3 hours, so it wasn't that brutal that way. But
do we by chance know the the showtime on this at all?
I don't have. Let's see.
Okay, I'd say it's probably too early.
Budget is 145 mil.
Okay.
Now I will tell you from personal experience, musicals in movie format take a long time to do.
Well, I was gonna say I can't ever say it, but the movie with Hugh Jackman did good. I know it had Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
And didn't Greatest Showman do good in theaters?
Greatest Showman did do well, but here's the thing. Wicked is a little more. I mean, here's the thing. I don't think Wicked has the draw power that Hugh Jackman did, because remember you had Zac Efron there too as well.
I mean, you got Ariana Grande.
That's going to probably help somewhat, but at the same time, remember we had Cats, and Cats was an epic, almost borderline hilarious fail. Will Cats that carry over to this?
I still won't watch that movie. That movie's terrible.
I mean, okay, you have the whole Taylor Swift furry thing going on, which okay, fine, but I don't know. I just don't see this doing that great, and I don't see.
You've been wrong before,
dude. You know what? In fairness, let me say this.
I was going to say Wonka.
I looked at the numbers for Cash or Trash, and I am in dead last of the four of us right now. So yes, I can be wrong. So basically, what I probably should do, I should pull a page from George Costanza on this, and I should basically be like, whatever instinct I have is wrong. The opposite should have to be right. So maybe I should just say Cash, because I don't think it's going to work. But we'll hit that closer to November.
I mean, it's wondering what else is going to come out Thanksgiving, because the fact that it's coming out Thanksgiving, that's a good time because people like to go to the movies for holidays and stuff.
Sure.
And
it's different than it used to be anyway.
Yeah. So I know we're not doing Cash and Trash right now, but I'm actually excited for it. The trailer made me interested.
Now, there is some other movie that I think you may know something about.
If it's what I think you're going to pull up, yeah.
I don't know if you have any interest in this movie or not. But,
this is going to... Okay, I was waiting because I thought you were going to do the other movie, but I had a feeling you were going to do
I'm going in order that this, the video has.
Okay.
Here. So
this
in this
one
case,
is going to make the most... This movie, I'm calling it right now. I know we don't have anybody else to witness, but y'all are witnessing it. This movie's going to make the most money this year.
I think so. There's already talk that this movie actually could be the #1 box office movie of the year, because
so now you agree with me, because I know last time you said trash.
You know what? I did, but then I started looking at the box office projections on this. Also, the fact that the trailer got me interested. Okay. I have not. I mean, here's the thing: just throwing Wolverine into it, fine, whatever, great. But listening to the dialogue, and also part of the problem was during the SAG strike, the script could be filmed. I'm sorry, during the writer's strike, the script could be filmed, but he was not allowed to legally ad-lib anything. And a lot of Deadpool's character was being able to ad-lib.
Yeah. That trailer was freaking hilarious. And I love the like hit at Disney references. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. Basically, I'm used to pegging, but Disney isn't, or Marvel.
yeah,
I'm Marvel Jesus.
yeah.
You know,
I'm here to save the MCU. And
but here's the funny thing about this: if you look at like what, let's assume this movie does well, which I think you can argue it would. Be. If you look at like the last three Marvel movies that actually did well, you'd have this, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and also Spider-Man No Way
do you
Home.
really consider Guardians of the Galaxy 3 that didn't make that much money over?
By the comparison to like the Eternals or the
Well,
Marvels,
yeah.
if you look at like Phase 4, Phase 5,
Yeah.
in that universe, and we'll put Deadpool 3 into Phase 5, fine. But if you look at like what would probably be the top 3 grossing Marvel movies,
Yeah.
they were movies that really Marvel had nothing to do with. Because Guardians was James Gunn, No Way Home was Sony.
But wouldn't that still be Kevin Feige?
To a much lesser degree.
Okay.
Because one was a Sony production, one was James Gunn, like I said in this case here, but James Gunn doing what James Gunn does, which is what worked for the first 2 Guardians movies. And then, of course, this being Ryan Reynolds and being not in like the MCU per se, not in like the Phase 4, Phase 5, but just kind of being on this weird little bubble on the outside.
Right. Which now it's all connected because of that trailer, because of what happens at the end credit scene in the second movie.
Yes.
There's a lot of Easter eggs. Now, I saw something, and maybe I'm not obsessed with this person, but I could have swore that was Taylor Swift in the trailer. The blonde that passes Deadpool that you only get to see a second before you see Wolverine in the white suit. It's right before you see Wolverine in the white suit. There's a girl that's blonde hair that's got her hair up, and you only get to see her face for a second.
In the trailer from last night?
Yes. And that's why I'm thinking it's not, because nobody else is talking about it. I'm the only one that's like, hey, I think that's Taylor Swift. It's right before they show Wolverine in the white suit, where you get to see Wolverine's back, or at least we think that is because of the hair, which is another reference to the comics. It's about, would say at least halfway in the trailer, after be honest, we probably could show the trailer and I could show you, but that's up to you. I don't.
Let's see.
Okay. And that right there is another reason why people are excited, because that's Pyro from the original X-Men.
Oh, is that the same actor? Really?
Yes.
That
is the same.
Okay.
So that right there made people excited because that's from the original franchise. So that was a perfect pause, even though you didn't mean to.
Well, actually, I've been hitting bit, but
yeah,
I just like that shot right there. Period. So
right.
Yeah, but
and that was an original Deadpool reference. I like that part.
Now the ones that he's fighting here, my understanding that's something from Loki.
We already passed the scene, unless they didn't show the full trailer, but we've already passed.
The one that I have here, but now I will say this. I mean, obviously, this is the worst kept secret, and this is something that apparently pissed off Ryan Reynolds, because they're just like, "Hey, Wolverine's here! Look, Wolverine! We got Wolverine! We got So everybody basically looked at this from the perspective of, this is the worst kept secret. So what's coming at the end of the trailer.
Yeah.
No, but.
So there was a part, and did it not show the full, I guess I didn't get to see the full thing, but anyways, there is a part, it's like, I want to say halfway through the actual trailer that, but anyways, there's a glimpse shot of a girl with blonde hair that passes by, and I don't know, to me it looked like Taylor Swift, and it would make sense because I know she's supposed to be in the movie, but nobody's talking about it, so I must just be delusional.
Or, it's being slightly kept under wraps. But again, given the fact that Marvel is hemorrhaging money right now, if she were in it, which is possible, maybe I'm wrong.
Because they just put the Eras tour on Disney Plus.
Well, they put the Marvels on Disney Plus 2 months after it came out.
Well, but I'm saying the fact that Taylor Swift has nothing to do with Disney at all, and the fact that they put it on their streaming platform. I understand it's going to. Sorry.
They probably had a deal involved, but I mean, just because it's on Disney Plus, I mean, here's the thing: knowing the way that Disney handled Marvel handled Hugh Jackman being in this. If Taylor Swift was in this, especially with how many times they showed her at the Super Bowl last night, their marketing team would be like, "Oh yeah, by the way, check this out over here." And they would whore that out for every opportunity they could to get all the Swifties involved.
That's why, like I said, I think that's why she's actually in the movie. But
yeah, if she was, that's fine. But it
yeah.
would still confuse me why they wouldn't be like, "Hey, look, hey kids, we got Taylor Swift. Go buy tickets now."
Well, maybe they will end up, or they're waiting. You know, Ryan Reynolds doesn't want everything to be spoiled about this movie too.
Mm-hmm.
He may want that to be, and we're obviously, you know, this movie doesn't come out until July, so we're gonna see more trailers. This just was our first glimpse.
Sure.
And we know it's got something to do with the TBA, which
that's exactly what I was thinking right there.
Hey kids, it's Mark.
Yeah, it's from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Apparently Mark Hamill didn't want that done either, where that whole thing shows up. It's like, "Hey kids, it's Mark Hamill." You know, cock knocker. Voiced, you know, same voice he had for the Joker, which was fantastic.
Speaking of Kevin Smith, I watched one of his movies that I didn't even know he did until I watched Jersey Girl the other day.
Oh yeah, well, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I loved it.
Jersey Girl, here's the thing. Jersey Girl 20 years after the fact has gotten a better reputation.
Yeah.
But considering that his entire career was something in Jay and Silent Bob, you know, he had a giant rubber poop monster, you know, he had God, you know, he had all the stuff from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back and Dogma and Chasing Amy, you know, and that whole View Askew universe. So people were expecting the same kind of, like, you know, dick and fart jokes that he'd been used to doing. And here you come across with this feel-good, heartwarming comedy about a single dad, and it rubbed people the wrong way in theaters.
Really?
Yeah, big time. Because not just that, because also the year before, Ben Affleck and J-Lo had a movie called Geely, which was hilariously terrible and one of the worst movies that was ever made. So on the heels of that, you had Jersey Girl.
And what was funny is at the same time, I did some research. I know this movie, it said 10 years of making. I think it took them 10 years to make it or something.
You might have.
Or something. It said like 10, or maybe it's been, at that point, it was 10 years of Kevin Smith Productions.
That would make sense.
Maybe that's what it was. But what was funny is I was doing some research, and it said that originally it was supposed to be Bill Murray in the movie. And
as opposed to Ben Affleck?
Yes. And what's the other person from Chasing Amy? Joey Adam Lauren.
Joey Lauren. Okay, as Maya.
It was supposed to be both of them. And then the bad guy originally, or the person, or not bad guy, but the person that ruined the career was supposed to be Bruce Willis.
That one I had heard. I heard it was supposed to be Bruce Willis on that, not Will Smith. I think it was better with Will Smith because it's like, nobody's going to see the Fresh Prince series.
That movie was hilarious. I love the humor. But anyways, we'll go back to the, hey kids, it's Bill Murray.
Bill Murray? Well, see, that would be a little weird because George Carlin would have played his father, and that age would not have worked necessarily.
Yeah.
There. Not like Ben Affleck and...
That's what I was saying. Armageddon, you know, I love how basically Ben Affleck just did a love, you know, was with the girl that he ends up falling in love in. They already had chemistry together, so I thought that was cool.
Yes, and then they had that song, from her father, Steven Tyler.
Yeah.
I don't want to close my eyes.
So yes, Deadpool. Another little Easter egg that you may have not caught, but there was a Secret Wars comic book number 5 that now if you go try getting it on eBay, it's selling for $50 to $60 because of that little glimpse.
Interesting. Okay.
That's what these trailers do. They once they show different things. The villain that they show with the pointy ears, that's not Charles. That's Charles' twin. I forget what her name is, but she's a villain and she'll be the villain. It's not Charles Xavier.
See, I'm not sure exactly who. Okay.
She'll be the villain of the movie. Are you still trying to find the scene I was talking about?
No, I'm okay. I just want to throw something back up on screen.
Yeah, I like. So that right there is perfect because you've got references of the Captain America Winter Soldier. That's what that right there. In the little screens were Easter eggs, and actually you can kind of see it in one of the or I don't know if it's that scene, but when you watch the little screens, the one on the far left is a picture of Deadpool holding the award that he got. That for so it was kind of the one where he's like, Ryan Reynolds can't be here, so I'm going to accept the award for him that they did. Yeah.
Well, remember, Bill, this also, here's the thing. My concern was this is also supposed to be PG-13.
No, it's rated R.
They went back to R with it. Okay, that's a better way because it was supposed to be PG-13, which I think would have hurt this thing massively. I
think it's supposed to be rated because I know the Once Upon a Deadpool was PG-13, but there was confirmations that this was going to stay rated R.
Okay.
And I think that's why he made the Disney joke about the pegging and stuff. And there was a lot of adult humor, I think, to get the audience to know, hey, this is going to be adult film. And there'll probably be some disclaimer at the beginning of the movie saying, do not bring your kids to go see this because this is not a kids movie.
And of course, who's going to see it? Kids.
No, I am.
Well,
Scott, I have a kid.
You know what? This is showing how out of touch I am. I only within the last year learned what pegging was. I didn't know. I heard it was a message on, it was referenced in Ted Lasso, and I'm just like, okay, what are they talking about? So I looked up what pegging was. Now I know what pegging is. I didn't know.
There's a YouTuber I watch all the time called Emergency Awesome, and he referenced that. And he's like, if you don't know what that is, have fun looking it up.
Yeah, I learned a thing on that one,
But yeah, so like I said, I really think that this movie has the potential of making the most money, especially with the amount of cameos that we're going to get in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact, like I said, they showed already that we've already got one of the X-Men in the thing that nobody expected. And what was funny is right before this trailer, that actor got asked in an interview, are you coming back for Deadpool 3? And yeah, the whole comic book thing was a reference to obviously that they are doing the Civil War and something with Doctor Doom. So either we're going to get a hint of Doctor Doom in this. I don't think we're going to actually see him. If we do, it may be an end credit scene. And we got, ladies and gentlemen, Day.
Oh, God, no fireworks.
Thanks for joining us.
How y'all doing? I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's okay. We've
been talking about Deadpool 3.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, we'll turn this over to you in this case. We've only at this point, believe it or not, we're half an hour in, and we've only gotten through 2 movies so far.
Yeah, we talked about Wicked, which Scott thinks it's not going to do good.
I'm going to say this. I'm up in the air because on Wicked because of the fact that is it a musical?
Yes.
Well, yeah, because it has to be a musical because
on the heels of Cats.
But I will say this. During last year, with their musicals and making Color Purple a musical, making this film a musical, Mean Girls did okay.
They didn't make this into a musical. It was already a musical.
But the point is, it's not a drama. It's
yeah.
I mean, but here's the thing.
The Color Purple is kind of a different story because nobody even really knew that was a musical as much, With this,
Mean Girls only did $97 million. The budget for the first, by the way, Wicked is a 2-parter, so Wicked Part 1 is $145 million.
145. So you know what? It's doable. So they were smart. So I will say this. I will call it cash on the basis of their budget.
Okay.
And Ariana Grande's in it. I think that's really a selling point. That's going to be the selling point.
No, not really, because you want to know why I say that? Because right now, a lot of people are getting sick and tired of seeing artists in movies at this moment.
I don't know. I really think that she's got a huge following on Instagram.
Even though posts. No, it's not about the following. It's about right now. There's a trend right now that people are getting sick and tired of.
The following worked for a while, but I think people are getting burned out on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I really think when she posts this on, or when she, I bet you there are people going to go see it because of Ariana Grande.
Probably some, sure. But
Yeah.
also at the same
Because
time,
she's not just an artist. She is an actor because she started as an actor.
But the point being in this case here, is that enough to carry it over 145 million right now?
Well,
Yeah.
When it comes out on Thanksgiving.
I mean, keep in mind the budget's 145 million right now, 9 months before it comes out.
Right.
So it could bump up to 225. See, one of the things that's happening right now is movies doing a lot of reshoots because they don't test well
because of the strike.
No, they're just doing it because the writing is shit, and
Oh.
as a result, it tests badly, so they have to go back and reshoot, which obviously costs more time, more money. I did something. Let me give you an example. I did something overnight, Friday night into Saturday. I never went to set. They wanted my car the entire night. 35 of us got paid $647 each to not go to set. I sat in holding. I napped for about a half an hour. I ate free food, and I went home at 5 o'clock in the morning. That was $22,000 spent to have cars parked and people not be there.
For what?
For a project that basically Friday night into Saturday. It was an overnight. But when people talk about budgets being out of control, I mean, listen, I'll take the cash. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that's the electric bill and the Verizon bill in one single day. But when they talk about budgets being exploded and bloated, that's just the background actors with cars. That doesn't count like the crew people, the main actors, all the kind of thing. There, all the stunt people. There was like 12 stunt guys there. These guys all made probably $2,000 to $2,500 each, all 12 of them. So this was one of those things that the budget for that day alone probably could have easily been $75,000, $80,000 for that day.
Yeah.
So when you have a project like this one, that has maybe like 100 days worth of filming, which is entirely possible, you could have a budget starting at 145 and end at 250.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I have high hopes for it.
Like,
and
I think they have high hopes for it because of how much they paid to put it in the Super Bowl.
$7 million, 30-second ad, I think.
Everything they put on the Super Bowl doesn't guarantee it's going to get the
But it guarantees you an audience.
Yes, for all those Scientology ads that we saw.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm excited. I think this can be cash, but that's just...
All right.
All right, let's go to Deadpool.
Yeah. Let's
and there was a fun comment for you earlier, Day.
We're not touching that.
Wait, what happened?
Nope.
Just go look in the chat and don't read it out loud.
Yeah.
You should be able to see the chat.
There's a word in there revolving around a movie that you're going to see next month, around your birthday. It was about a tree grow and
somebody wanted us to read a riddle.
Yeah, it was a riddle. Yeah, and coincidentally, they left after we said no.
It's on the which one? On this chat or something?
Yeah, you should be able to see it.
It was in the comments.
The chat of the people commenting.
Yeah, but anyway.
Oh.
Yeah,
I laughed at that.
Okay. I was not going to touch that one. But because
dude, it's okay. Trust and believe.
Fool me 17 times, shame on you. Fool me 18 times, shame on me.
Right.
But
so Deadpool 3. What's your thoughts, Day?
Cash off the bat, cash.
Oh, yeah,
off the bat, cash.
Well, here's the funny thing. We were saying this before. You could have in phase 4 and phase 5, the 3 highest grossing Marvel movies could be movies that are not really Marvel movies. Because you had Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which is James Gunn, really. Mm-hmm. Then you also have Spider-Man No Way Home, which was Sony. And then, of course,
was it really Sony? Because I know.
Yes, it was 75%.
I thought Marvel directed the entire thing.
Nope. It was 75% Sony, 25% Disney or Marvel.
Oh.
That was the contract. So, and then, of course, Deadpool, which is not really MCU, but fringe MCU at best. The 3 highest grossing Marvel movies in phase 4 and phase 5 could be movies that were not really done as Marvel films necessarily. They weren't part of the Marvel system, we'll call it
right.
that.
But because they bought a certain company, now people have leeway. So, which was a smart move.
Yeah.
On Fox's part, because not only Fox, but Ryan Reynolds' part, because this is his baby.
Mm-hmm.
So anything lacking in this film, trust and believe the audience will go in an uproar.
Yes.
So if Ryan Reynolds was not being creator or executive producer of this film and has say so on this film, oh, trust and believe it would have been hell on earth for Marvel and Disney. So with that being said, this is going to be cash because right now, the way things are looking, Ryan Reynolds is having his way with this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because he pitched it to Kevin Feige, and it didn't take long.
Which is funny because also it makes fun of Kevin Feige and the whole MCU in general.
Yeah.
Which in the first one they made fun of, the X-Men thing because it's like, okay, is this Patrick Stewart or James McAvoy universe?
And what's funny in the second one, they couldn't. So if you notice the second one, they didn't really target Disney, and it was because that contract was still going on about buying, so they didn't want anything to do to ruin the deal with the Disney and the Fox thing. So that's why you don't see any hits at Disney in that second movie.
Fair enough. But the third one,
yeah, third one. Oh, I wanted, no offense, but because we knew it was a Super Bowl, one thing I wanted him to say is like make some kind of Super Bowl joke or something, just to be like, "Hey, you're rated R superheroes now at the Super Bowl" or something.
But there were rated R movies there on this thing anyway.
What?
I think there were some rated R movies in this thing anyway. So
yeah.
Well, I meant Disney. First Disney kind of movie, you got a superhero that you're gonna have that's rated R. But I did like how he broke the fourth wall by looking at us. And yeah, no, Day I mentioned, and I don't know if you've been watching videos all day like I have, but one of the references that you may caught or didn't catch in the trailer was the Secret Wars number 5 issue. Yeah. There was a comic book that referenced Doctor Doom. Now I was telling Scott that's a $60 book on eBay because of it. And which is crazy. It's crazy what media can do to a book.
I think we should move on at 37 minutes in because otherwise Rob can go on for this thing for the next 6.5 weeks.
I'm sorry.
So
I wanted Dave's opinion.
I know you did, but there we go.
Here. What's The Fall Guys? Okay,
The Fall Guy was a TV series from 1981 to 86 starring Lee Majors, who was otherwise known as the $6 Million Man. It was about an aging stuntman who solved crimes, and it was it was a weekly episodic back in the day. Every new week, new villain, new crime, new mystery, which was big back then. They've decided to turn it into a Ryan Gosling action comedy, a la like sort of like 21 Jump Street. Where you had a TV series in the 80s, and they decided to reboot it for for present day.
And they showed this last night.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I remember seeing bits of it without realizing what it was until today.
Huh. Because I watched the entire thing. Huh, that's crazy. Yeah. Was it during the halftime show by chance?
I don't remember.
All right. Because I kind of turned off the halftime show.
I don't really remember at that point, but in this case, I mean, like I said, Ryan Gosling, he's a bit of an older, shall we say, peckish superhero. In this case.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're leaning hard on this Ryan Gosling guy to be.
I mean, he's cash right now.
Yeah, well, Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling. So, I
mean, look, dude. Is he really, or he just doing it for looks?
Listen, basically, this is a safe movie after being Knuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the general rule. You do the safe movie, and then you do the action gutsy movie, and then you kind of flip flop back and forth. You don't do too many in one way and then the other. But I don't know. I'm curious to see in this case. Lee Majors does have a cameo in it. It's getting released May 3rd.
Okay.
Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt, Winston Duke, Hannah Waddingham. Lee Majors apparently has an appearance in there because you have to. But I don't know. I think you're going to be curious to see. But what bothers me a little bit here personally, and I'm going to go with exactly how this is. By the way, Ryan Gosling's character is Colt Seavers. But, Colt Seavers, a battered and past his prime stuntman. That is not past your prime, dude. He is not old enough to be past your prime at that age.
Exactly.
Stunt guys go into their 60s and even 70s. So it's like he's not past his prime at this point. Come on. Pretty sure those stunt guys on Friday were older than Gosling were. But in this case, like I said, let's see. When Star goes missing and the film being directed by Colt's ex-girlfriend, Jodie Moreno, played by Emily Blunt, the production's in danger of being shut down. He volunteers to investigate the disappearance of and find the missing actor. Well, I mean, I think it could be okay, but I don't know if it's going to be like monstrously. I mean, it could be.
Let's hope and see, but I don't know. I'm really not a person that would go.
Jackie Chan's in the 70s, man.
Yeah.
Jackie Chan and Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Perfect examples, but
to be honest with you, they should have me because I'm tired of being overlooked. Because I'm the guy that could sell stuff. But the thing about it is they don't put me on. Coach, put me in. Coach, put me in.
Put me in, coach.
I'm
I'm ready to
my
play.
emotions. I could build an audience by you just putting me as the highlight.
Thanks, Dave. You just made me remind me of a movie. Just made me think of The Blind Side.
Duh.
When Sandra Bullock's yelling, "Put him in the game!"
A movie based on a true story-ish.
Yeah.
You know, The Rookie was more accurate as far as based on a true story when it comes to sports films. But as far as this goes, I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know yet.
But I don't know. We can talk about the budget when it gets closer. What's the next trailer?
Oh God!
Because there's one movie in there I already know that you're upset, or I'm upset that they're making because there's no point.
And what movie would that be?
Twisters.
And that's where we are right now.
I love it. Yeah, there we go.
They doing it because let me tell you why. They failed to come up with ideas. They have no ideas.
Well, no, if you look on IMDb, it says a continuation of the 1996 film. It literally says that on the IMDb description.
The 1996 film was sucked. It was such a bad movie.
Twister was amazing.
No, it was not.
Yes, it was.
No, it was not.
And rest in peace to Bill Paxton.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah.
And no, that movie had a lot of great actors, and that movie's great. That's one of my favorites.
Okay. Your villain in this was Carrie Elwes, who had the nerve to make money chasing tornadoes.
Yeah.
I mean, the woman in this case, also, can we point out Helen Hunt's character?
Yeah.
She decides to not get divorced from her Bill Paxton husband because she wants to go out and chase Twister. So she leaves a guy that she's supposed to marry in Twisting the Wind to get back with her ex to chase tornadoes.
I don't know. I like the movie. It's one of my. I've seen that movie so many times.
Well, hey, Scott, there was movies that didn't make sense and they still were popular.
Listen, there were stupid movies, but there were also stupid fun movies.
I don't know. This was something different. We never had something, but the fact that they're doing, and I don't know if you call this a sequel because it says a continue, or no, it said no. Sorry. Not continuation. It said newer update of the 1996.
They'll call it a requel in this case because a requel, can have enough referencing the previous one, but far enough away that you can create your own movie.
I don't agree with it because if you look at the, they basically took the, if you go look at the page of the thing, I think this movie's going to be trash.
It's $200 million budget, by the way.
Oh my God. Yeah. Trash.
So
there's a Twister community, but not. I don't think
that was in the same era we had like Deep Impact, Armageddon, which we mentioned before.
Yeah.
Whatever that movie was, Dante's Inferno, and then there was wasn't there another volcano movie? Dante's Inferno and another one I think was in there too.
Okay.
Kyle, don't talk trash about Twister.
So this movie is not going to do well.
No, that was stupid to even make. I don't even care who's in it.
So
they might as well just make a movie of me.
Oh my gosh, Dave.
I could sell. But we got a joke. I got a joke on it. Come on.
What's our next movie?
Yeah. All right. The next movie is I keep going the wrong window, sorry.
Is it If?
It is not. We have not gotten to If yet.
Okay.
So
yes!
Now here's the thing. I have never seen any Volcano. Okay, Volcano was the other one. Thank you.
You've never seen Planet of the Apes?
I've never seen the James Franco ones.
Okay.
I mean, here's the thing. For me, the first 4 were spectacular. The 5th one was kind of trash. Planet of the Apes with Mark Wahlberg was mostly okay. I actually didn't hate the ending of that. But I haven't seen any of like the updated ones in this group. So I will not see this in theaters because honestly, I would rather watch the other ones first. And I'll do what I did with like Fast and the Furious or the Marvel movies, where I'll just knock one out right after another.
Don't you have enough or actually, I don't know. I was gonna say you have enough time to watch them all and then go watch this in theaters. Because when does this come out?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. It comes out. Yes, guys.
It comes out. Yeah. May 10th.
May 10th.
It is, you know what? It is plausible. I can knock out, I think it's like 4 or 5 movies at this point in 3 months. I could probably do that. Sure.
They've done 4 of the Franco ones now.
Something like that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I
will say the first one I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
The first one of the series of I really enjoyed.
This is the 4th. Yeah. We had Rise in 2011, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes 2014, War for the Planet of the Apes 17, and then this one here, 7 years later. Wow.
Yeah.
Now,
and
like I said,
I love how it kept yelling, "What a wonderful day!"
I remember the original ones. Interesting fun fact that a lot of people don't know: the original script for the original Planet of the Apes movie was based on a French book. It's fine, but it was actually written by Rod Serling, who did Twilight Zone. He wrote the original script for the original Charlton Heston Planet of the Apes, and it was darker and it was creepier. Because it was adapted into a comic book at one point, and I really enjoyed reading that comic because
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I like the Green Lantern. They did a crossover Green Lantern with the Planet of the Apes, where the apes actually become Green Lanterns.
Really?
It's a DC crossover. Yeah, I have the comics, and they show the different covers they did, where it shows them like the different apes had different rings and stuff. Yeah, but they did a crossover Planet of the Apes with. No
wonder nobody buys comics anymore. They all buy One Piece.
Yeah.
What's One Piece?
Exactly. So yeah, it is a statistical fact that manga outsells comic books in the United States like 4 times over at this point.
Yeah. That's okay, but I'll still buy the comics.
That's okay. You're allowed. You do you. Go do yourself.
Yes. The only manga I own in my collection is Deadpool Samurai Volume 2.
That is not a manga.
That's not a manga.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. It's the comic.
Manga wa Nihonjin. Demo Deadpool wa Amerikajin. Amerikajin no manga. Nihonjin no
Deadpool
manga
Volume 2.
dewa nai.
You didn't let me finish. The Deadpool Volume 2 Samurai does feature anime in it. It is considered a manga.
No, it
Nope.
doesn't.
Yes,
manga is a Japanese word, by the way.
I know.
It's
So,
like.
All right, we're gonna have to.
Anyways, let's go to Knuckles.
We're gonna have to master debate that at some point, whether or not that American manga can be considered manga. That is something I think we need to really hone down on and hit the. I know who to bring in for that. Oh yes.
You may want to cut what you just said out. By the way.
What? Master debating. No, I think it's fun.
You're the one that took it out of context.
Yeah.
Nobody else did.
No.
But anyways, Knuckles.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with master debating in public.
Exactly.
But yes, Knuckles this is not really a movie trailer, but it's part of the thing, and I'll cut it anyway.
And it's not going to be a movie; it's going to be a TV series.
Yes, it's going to be a thing. 6 episodes. I mean, I think it could work. I think it's better suited to really just be, like I said, a series versus an actual movie.
I think I think the reason why they're doing this is it's going to be a tie-in that's going to give us something at the end for the 3rd movie that you're going to have to watch this series in order to understand something that's going to happen in the 3rd movie, because we're also getting the 3rd movie this year.
Yeah.
Right.
They're taking a page out of the MCU book. Where it's like, hey, you want to see this movie? You got to watch this on Paramount Plus first, which is the death knell for both sides of it. Look at what happened with the Marvels. You had to see 2 different characters from 2 different Disney Plus series to understand what was going on with the Marvels.
I get that, but this is a different story. You've got a character that people enjoy, and you're making a spin-off series, and you'll get more development with his character.
You know what? You are actually, you're right. I'll take that back, because Monica Rambeau and Ms. Marvel, Iman Vellani, originated in their own series.
Right.
Knuckles originated in Sonic 2. So you know what? You're right. You're right. It's a little different there. Fair.
So, and he became, and there was probably a lot of feedback that people liked him, and that's why I even thought of doing a 6-part series that they thought would, that they're like, okay, this should be successful enough because there is a.
Well, Knuckles has always been popular. You know, Knuckles has always been one of the best characters in the entire franchise. Correct. Because, I mean, I remember I bought Sonic and Knuckles for the Sega Genesis back in the day.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I don't know if it's going to be interesting with the guy they have. I think he's a little corny.
Cool. What guy?
The not James Marsden.
Yeah, the one that he's a kind of a bigger guy that he just looks like a goof. That guy.
Okay.
Dirt.
It looks. Do you know what? In that pose, it almost looks like what's his name? Vance.
No, Brad Pitt. I mean, not Brad Pitt.
No, Von Vance, or whatever the guy is from Bounty Hunter.
You like Chris Pratt?
Yeah. See, I don't know who that is actually. I'm looking at the IMDb.
I want to say, did he make a reference to any of the? I think he's from one of the movies.
He could be.
I think he's the cop from the second movie.
Okay.
I think. But I don't know. We'll see. I think I like it. I know I'm for sure seeing it because I just called my best friend today and I said, yo, I know you don't have Paramount Plus, but I do. And we saw Deadpool 2 Sonic 2 in theaters, so we have to see this together. And so he's like, yeah, let me know when it comes out.
Yeah, it's Adam Pauly, who's best known for the Mindy Project.
Okay.
Also the series. Christopher Lloyd is in this.
Really?
He's an older, basically, he's Pacakamek, I guess. An older echidna who's believed to have perished along with the tribe when they tried to capture Longclaw, Sonic's previously adopted mother. So you know what it is? He's doing this to get that health insurance because, again, residuals don't count. So he just shows up in one random thing, does a little bit of work, and then bam, he's covered for the next year.
I was going to say, if you're talking about being covered for a year, all he has to do is show up at one convention like MegaCon, and he's already good for the year.
But you have to requalify. It's a health insurance thing.
Okay.
So it's not a money thing. He gets his residuals from Back to the Future and everything else. But none of that stuff now since 2020 counts towards health insurance. That's why Ed Asner sued, because all the stuff that he had done for across decades, including Up and Mary Tyler Moore, no longer counts for health insurance. So when you have people that are in the 70s, 80s, and 90s and no longer working, they were told for decades that they would always have coverage. And then during COVID, like, oh yeah, sorry, we had high budgets, we had to cut it. So now that's why Christopher Lloyd did The Mandalorian for an episode,
right?
Rick
Moranis, the other one that he just did, the Last of Us, or no, whatever that's not zombie, because I think that's Last of Us. The drama. I don't know.
He did Star Wars.
So yeah, he did Mandalorian.
No, I'm not talking about Star Wars. It's a live. Never mind. I'll think about it later. But it's a TV show that he made an appearance as himself.
But I mean, like I said, that's why they have to do that now, because otherwise they don't get their health insurance. And obviously, the older you get, the more you're going to need it.
Right.
Yeah, it's a full set of hey kids, look, it's Christopher Lloyd, and kids nowadays are like, who?
Yeah.
Day doesn't get that reference.
No, I get it.
No. Kyle keeps saying, hey kids, it's this person, when that's been making a reference since the beginning before you showed up, because we were saying, hey kids, this person's in the movie. Do
you recognize that reference?
Yes, I do.
What movie is it from?
Hey kids, it's Mark Hamill. Why do I feel like, was it from dang, but I heard the quote before. I know it was from.
Oh, I'm sorry, I put you on the spot on that one.
Yeah, I'm thinking Jay and Silent Bob.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. You are correct, sir.
Thank you. See, I know my movies.
Nicely done.
All right. So I think the series will do good, but regardless, it really doesn't matter if it does good. But I think it will.
But all right, we're closing in on an hour, so I'm going to zip ahead a little bit here.
Yep.
Now, in this case, this is the if. Now, what I find really funny about this is, and this is an inside joke within the office, One of Jim and Pam's pranks on Dwight was in season 9, where they brought in Randall Park as what was called Asian Jim. So they tricked Dwight into believing that he's been working alongside an Asian guy all these years, doctoring pictures, giving the passcode and all this kind of stuff. So when it says literally like director, if John Krasinski, Randall Park, this is an in joke to The Office right here.
You're right.
Yeah.
So, but I just found that, like I said, I'm not sure how many people are going to really see that. But
And what I think this movie would do good, and it's got Ryan Reynolds. That's
Yeah.
But it gives me Roger Rabbit kind of vibes
Mhm.
in a way. Their animation and stuff. But no, what I like about that actor, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure
we
he's
got to
also.
get Day a shot to talk a little bit here. By the way,
Oh, sorry.
the poor kid's not saying a word at this point.
I got nothing to say.
Okay, so anyway, Roger,
That's a first.
What?
Oh, I'm just kidding.
Yo, okay. Now I got something to say. So anyway, about If, I was trying to be nice and I got disappeared.
No. Crap! I was trying to do something here. There we go. That's what I want to do.
Okay.
There we go.
But with If, it's an imaginary tale, unlike other movies that's coming out that's imaginary and likes to kill you. But anyway, this film is basically focused on the imaginary on a positive level.
Mhm.
Something that Rob doesn't understand because he's talking imagination at all times.
I understood that reference.
Oh, you do?
SpongeBob.
But back to what y'all was talking about with If.
I was gonna ask if John. I don't know how to say his name, but
Krasinski.
is he the one that made an appearance in the WandaVision series?
He made an appearance in Doctor Strange for like 9 seconds. Yes.
Yeah.
But the WandaVision,
Yeah.
he's the agent, right?
Richards and like one of the dumbest cameos to ever put like John Krasinski in.
Yeah, it was.
So if I'm not mistaken, because there's another. I'm hoping I'm right on this. He's also a YouTuber that gives behind the scenes and tells people how to become an actor. He has an actor page. If I'm not mistaken, I'll correct myself if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's who that is. Because he does a lot of cameos, correct?
He's done a few here and there.
I think he was in Cobra Kai as well.
John Krasinski? No.
Not. You may want to recheck that. He's one of the board members
No.
in Cobra Kai.
John Krasinski. Jim from The Office.
Yes. I'm pretty sure he makes a cameo as the board in Cobra Kai.
Okay, I am literally pulling up his IMDb right now. You're watching as I do this.
Yes.
That guy. So what I'm going to do is
no, I meant sorry. Who's the actual guy that says he's not Jim?
Wait. Let me do it. Can I do it?
Wait, hang on.
I meant the guy that's in If. The guy that's saying he's John Krasinski, but he's not that guy.
Wait. Hey, Rob.
Leave me alone.
Rob.
Leave me alone.
Rob.
What do you want? No, sorry. The guy that's not John Krasinski, or however, what is his he was in Cobra Kai.
Randall Park was never in Cobra Kai either.
Wait, you ready for it? Y'all want me to do it again?
Hang on. You know what? Let me be fair here. Let me pull this up proper, just so I can do this right. Because if I'm wrong, stupid. Let me do this. See,
You should be able to go to all projects, and you should be able to type Cobra Kai or something.
COBRA. Stop.
Because I'm pretty sure Randall Park is the one that actually has a YouTube channel. That's what I didn't know his actual actor name.
Do you hear that?
Yeah.
What's that mean?
That means it's not Finding Cobra Kai.
Oh, hey.
Wait, Rob.
I'll figure out who it is.
Rob, can I finish? Can I do this?
Can I finish?
Can I finish?
No.
Yes.
What's the next movie?
Quack.
I'll figure out who I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure that's who I'm talking about, but we'll find out.
I will. Let me throw something out there as I have to stall for time at least a little bit right now.
Okay.
By the way, John Krasinski, who played Jim from The Office, he said something he made a little bit of a mistake in the audition room because he's waiting there on, to go in for the audition. He's nervous and everything like that. And he makes a comment to the guy who's the guy auditioning next to him. And it's like, I really hope this thing does a lot better than that show Coupling did when that came over, because that show was terrible when it came to the States, because The Office was a reboot of the British one. He didn't realize that he was sitting next to Greg Daniels, the guy who created The Office in the US. So he's like, I hope this show doesn't suck like Coupling did.
That's funny.
So, yeah.
Do we have any more movies?
You know what? Speaking of, may as well go this way. Speaking of John Krasinski, Quiet Place 2-ish.
Yes. Prequel.
Is it a prequel?
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. I never saw The Quiet Place 1, so.
What is this?
Quiet Place.
Day one.
Horror movie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I haven't seen it.
Yes. Yeah, we've had one with Emily Blunt, one with Emily Blunt's husband, one with Emily Blunt's not pretending to be her husband. But
what's this?
Moana 2.
Wait, that was at the Super Bowl?
Yes,
Yeah.
I didn't get no trailer of that. Is it maybe because I was watching on Paramount Plus?
Maybe we had it on Hulu on our side.
Yeah.
By the way, it was like
I didn't know we had it. Cool. I will say,
Kyle, if you're listening, you spoiled the ending of that movie because we had it on Hulu and it was about a minute behind the broadcast. So when that extra point was blocked, you put it in the comment that we had in our own group, and then I saw it later, and then your next comment later, which I read was, 49ers blew this one, and then like a minute later was the touchdown pass from Patrick Mahomes to end the game. So no, it's okay. It's in this case here. It's like the stream was like a minute behind the actual broadcast. So we were behind where we were.
Well, we should talk about that because I really think something occurred during the Super Bowl, but I have my own biased opinion.
You talking about the streakers?
As someone who did not have any, real interest in either team, and really kind of wanted the last four to the Lions to get in because that would have been such a feel-good thing. Jared Goff needs redemption after the Stafford trade, but I don't know. That was your guys? That was definitely watched by people.
What was your guys' favorite commercial?
Deadpool.
Not trailer, commercial.
None of them. I didn't really care for it.
You didn't like the.
I think
good neighbor. State Farm is there.
I didn't care for it. My thing was, I'm only watching the Super Bowl, like I posted on my story, for Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I said. That's all I was watching the Super Bowl for.
Yes, the Christopher Walken one was great.
I was at a party with Kyle. Kyle Wasberg from the fantasy group, Fantasy Football, and I was over there, and I remember watching the Christopher Walken one. I said at the very end, there's going to be a cameo by somebody famous. What's going to happen. And what was it? Was it John Legend? Was it? Yeah, John Legend.
I thought that was. Usher.
No, Usher did the halftime show.
Yeah.
No, but
he also.
I don't know who made an appearance at the end.
Yeah.
Did you watch it, Day?
What?
Did you watch any of the Super Bowl trailers or commercials?
Yeah.
The Christopher Walken, who was at the very end.
I thought it was John Legend.
Was it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I like the Arnold one in the Twins reference having Danny DeVito.
That's fair.
That was my favorite one, and I loved it. As a big Arnold fan, that trailer had me like a good neighbor. It's not neighbor.
You know what? Maybe it was Usher. I think you're right.
It was Usher, I think.
Okay.
That's what I.
Dude,
Usher.
No, we're agreeing with you.
I was wrong. He was right. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I suck at what the kids call music these days.
I never said Usher's music.
I'm gonna hike up my underwear to my rib
But
cage. And clean
I
it
will
over.
say this: the commercials for the Super Bowl was like what Kyle said. It was It wasn't memorable. It's not a memorable Barry type moment.
I enjoyed them.
It was all right.
They were okay. I mean, the Ben Affleck one was decent-ish. The one
And was that a reference to last year? Because he said last year you showed up to my work. Now I'm showing up to your work. So was there a Jennifer Lawrence and Ben Affleck last year?
maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know, but
Because that's the only thing I could think of by him saying you showed up at my work last year.
I don't know. But that would be.
Oh yeah, the LL Cool J one was kind of good.
There was yeah.
Give a shout out to LL Cool J. That was a good commercial.
Shout out to I know.
But $7 million for a 30-second ad, to say nothing for how much they had to pay Arnold for that. Or Usher or Christopher
That
Walken.
wasn't really that commercial been around. That's why I understand. It wasn't even.
What are you talking about? The Arnold one hasn't been around.
Yes, it was.
Arnold.
No,
I
that
don't
was
know.
a new trailer.
Arnold has been showing up in State Farm commercials though.
No, but the one with Danny DeVito is a new trailer.
That was new, yeah.
Yeah, that's a new trailer, but
That's-
it was
Matt Damon. Matt Damon.
But like I said, it was just like, okay, we see Arnold, we've seen this before. It's just that, we're just adding Danny DeVito to the cut. Okay, cool.
No, they did do 2 movies together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it.
I don't know. It was my favorite one out of all of them.
Okay.
And the Christopher Walken.
Okay.
Christopher Walken here. Because
don't
they
really-
say if you can do voice, every person can do a Christopher Walken.
I can't. So, but I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
can.
people anyway. We already established I'm not people.
Okay, I could say that. Yeah, Kyle's right. The Hey Arnold, Patrick Stewart.
The problem I had about that is that was released like a week ago.
Mm.
And it wasn't a new thing. That was like released like about 5 days ago before the Super Bowl.
Mm.
And someone's like, they murdered Arnold.
But yeah, that was basically what we had this year for Super Bowl commercials or trailers.
But trailers were good. It's just the commercial was
I will say the Bud Light one that usually people like, I felt like that one was rushed. I just didn't understand the story. It normally has like a story, and
like it
just
was
felt-
doing the Christmas thing. Remember the Polar Express?
Mm.
That was the whole thing. But
I don't remember what happened with Planters. I mean, I don't eat peanuts anyway, but are you a Plantersist?
So before we, I know we're about to wrap this up, but I want to give a huge shout out to Pensacon, because that's not this weekend, but it's next weekend. And so if you're in the area of Pensacola, Florida, that con has some amazing guests, and we're doing press for it. So hopefully I'll be able to bring some good interview to y'all.
Yeah, well, you and I'll confab on that beforehand.
Yeah.
So
because I got some questions, but yeah.
Yeah, but see, the bouncing QR code, it doesn't have to be good. It has to be memorable. So you sit there and you're like, okay, I'm going to take the. Apparently, it crashed their server because everybody's like, what the hell am I looking at?
yeah, because
So that's at the end of the day, it doesn't have to be good. It just has to be something you remember. And frankly, from a budget standpoint, a bouncing QR code is a lot cheaper than Arnold Schwarzenegger is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, last year's QR code was really good.
Yeah. But I remember David Schwimmer and like Jennifer Aniston had something, which I was like, great. There was supposed to be like a massive Friends reunion, and there was like nothing there.
Yeah.
So did anybody at your party do the drinking game every time you see Taylor Swift?
We did not actually. It was a 100% dry party. But the Taylor, we did kind of, or maybe probably more. I just like, hey, there, but it was funny because Kelce only had 1 catch in the first half, so she didn't show up much. Second half, she did.
They still showed. I don't know. I felt like they showed her too many times.
If he didn't win the Super Bowl, this is what we probably hear from Taylor Swift. We will never be back together. That's my first Taylor Swift moment. So I got to do countless other Taylor Swift moments.
By the way, what he's referencing here, legit. I think I threw it in the sports chat actually. There was that Vegas betting line. Who's going to have? What's going to happen more? Are we going to get more? Is Travis Kelce going to have more catches, or is Taylor Swift going to be on camera more times? there was more Swift than there was Kelce catches because Kelce
Right.
had
Yeah.
a terrible first half.
I'll be honest because I had some people give me some backlash on it, and they're like, "Well, we don't complain when they show celebrities at like basketball games on the front row." There's a difference. They're showing the different celebrity. They're not showing just one celebrity every 5 to 10 minutes. They showed her at least 9 or 10 times at the actual Super Bowl.
Well, my thing, and I've said this before, I've been in enough press boxes and press conferences to know a distraction when I see one. You know, and I can tell you right now, part of the reason why I think the Chiefs struggled so much in that first half, and that also that interception to start the second half, is because they could not find their rhythm for the 2 weeks leading up to it, because the press was all over the place. There was way more press because of this. They had to answer more questions about it repeatedly, which throws them off their system. And the 49ers had nobody talking to them. It was a lot less because the star tight end, the biggest tight end in the NFL, is dating the biggest solo artist since Elvis.
Yep.
So as a result, that is all the news outlets were talking about.
Right.
And that's all that they were doing on the field during press conferences and getting in the way of the Chiefs to do their job.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I have seen this before. I have press conferences I got to do tomorrow with MLS. These are nothing. This is like season's coming back. Yeah, it's not something that involves a massive distraction. But I've seen what that does and how it affects the team.
And if we didn't have so many, like I said at the beginning of the show, if we didn't have so many players get knocked out, especially our heavy hitter at the beginning of the game, that would have been a whole different game.
Yeah.
I did like the fact that
the 49ers did a great job for losing as many people as they did.
They blew that game. But I will say that it was a really cool thing that, and credit to Nickelodeon for referring to Travis Kelce as Taylor Swift's boyfriend in the caption. That went viral, but.
And they did the Sweet Victory at the beginning of the game through the Nickelodeon channel.
Mm-hmm.
The SpongeBob Sweet Victory from like 20 years ago or whenever that came out episode. They finally did that at the Super Bowl, and it was awesome.
Yeah. We're JD and I are working on some stuff with that channel, by the way. I don't know if Kyle, if you knew about that. But anyway, props to Reba McEntire. You nailed the national anthem last night. And I don't know if we got anything else. So you guys,
okay.
You got anything else?
I was going to say about the performance with Usher.
Oh,
yeah. So don't get me wrong. Usher's performance at the halftime show was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
But I get that they're entertainers. I get the fact that him and Alicia Keys are entertainers. But there's a certain way to perform and be respectable in a way where you have a husband. He knows you have a husband.
Mm.
The way that touchy-feely came about, I kind of felt weirded out with Swiss Beats, who's the artist that's married to Alicia Keys, even though he sent out what he felt, but I felt as though it wasn't strong enough.
Mm-hmm.
I dig all the performances. It was just something about Usher and Alicia Keys, even though Usher has a touchy-feely moment in that performance, and I'm like, hold up, you're touching somebody's wife.
You know what? There was a bit of a sultry to it, and I didn't personally have a problem with. I might feel differently in certain circumstances, but this is also the 20-year anniversary of Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson, so keep that in mind.
Yeah, but Usher has some past experience how he was touching or doing certain things with somebody's girl or person that they with, and the person flipped out about it, and them two are no longer together.
Interesting.
Keke Palmer and whoever her baby daddy was. So I don't know how to call Usher as I know I'm probably going to get attacked by this. Either Usher is a relationship. Who do you call when a person likes to destroy somebody's home or household or relationship?
A home wrecker?
Yeah, that's what it feels like with Usher.
some toxicity.
Yeah, and I'm not jealous. I'm not saying it's just that a lot of stuff is okay when it's certain people, but when it's others that's doing the same exact thing, people want to complain.
Mm-hmm.
So I get they're artists, but at the same time, there's supposed to be a certain standard and certain respect level that should come in mind when you're doing your performance.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to be honest, the Super Bowl hasn't done that in a while.
Well, I'll be curious to see what the ratings are, because the Super Bowl ratings have been dropping steadily for years. So I'm a little curious to see what happens there.
Yeah. And that's the end of what I have to say about that. Don't get me wrong, his performance was fire. It's just that was kind of it gave me Boondock vibes. If anybody give it a Boondock vibes.
Well, guys, I'm Robert.
Okay.
That's Day.
Oh, that's Day?
Scott.
That's Day. And I'm
Scott.
Scott.
That's Day. That's Scott.
I'm Day.
That's Ryan.
Scott. That's Day. That's Scott.
Oh,
and
so it's 2 days and 2 Scott?
Else from the film set.
Hang on. We just got through that. Sage is fire because it was on fire. So I'd add throw it on there. So
you're not first, you're last.